Have you ever stood before two photographs, two life stories, and felt the weight of a profound, unspoken question? In one, there is a man named Marco from a sun-drenched village in Tuscany, his face a beautiful map of 102 years, surrounded by 4 generations of his family, his eyes sparkling with a light that time could not extinguish. In the other, a man named David from a quiet suburb in Ohio, a kind soul and a dedicated worker, whose story ended at 74, leaving behind a void that felt far too sudden, far too soon. The gap between them isn't just a number on a tombstone. It's a chasm of nearly 30 years, a lifetime of memories, laughter, and wisdom that one man experienced and the other did not. What separates these two lives? Is it a lottery of genetics, a roll of the cosmic dice? Or is it something deeper, something woven into the very fabric of their days, their meals, their conversations, and their beliefs? The startling truth is that while genetics play a role, the vast chasm between a life that flourishes past the century mark and one that falters in its 70s is often carved out by daily choices, cultural norms, and the environments we build around ourselves. The Italian secret to longevity isn't a secret at all. It's a way of being that has been practiced for generations, a stark contrast to the modern American lifestyle that, for all its advancements, often trades years of life for convenience and speed. This exploration is especially critical for those of us who have already seen many seasons come and go. It's easy to believe that the die is cast, that our habits are set in stone. But the lessons from places like Italy prove that the power to reshape our future, to add not just years to our life, but life to our years, remains firmly in our hands, right now, today. This is not about a magical pill or a complex medical procedure. It's about understanding the foundational pillars of a long and vibrant existence, the food that fuels us, the community that holds us, the rhythm that paces us, the movement that sustains us, and the respect that defines us. Today, we will journey deep into 5 of the most compelling reasons why so many Italians are celebrating their 100th birthdays while a staggering number of Americans are falling decades short. By the time we conclude, you will not only grasp the profound differences between these two worlds, but will also be armed with simple, powerful strategies to begin weaving this ancient wisdom into the tapestry of your own life. This isn't about becoming Italian. It's about reclaiming a more human, more sustainable way of living. So let's begin this journey together. The most visceral and immediate difference between these two cultures can be found where life itself is sustained, on the dinner plate. The Italian approach to food is a philosophy, a daily ritual deeply rooted in tradition and respect for the earth. It is built upon the time-tested foundations of the Mediterranean diet, a pattern of eating that modern science has repeatedly confirmed as one of the healthiest in the world. Imagine a plate painted with the vibrant colors of nature, deep red tomatoes bursting with lycopene, dark green spinach rich in iron, earthy beans and lentils packed with fiber and protein, and the golden green glint of extra virgin olive oil, a liquid treasure trove of anti-inflammatory polyphenols. Fish, pulled from the nearby sea, provides essential omega-3 fatty acids, while whole grains offer a slow, steady release of energy. The meals are defined by their simplicity and freshness. Food is not an afterthought. It is often prepared at home from scratch, a process that is itself a form of mindful activity, and almost always shared with family, turning every meal into an opportunity for connection. Now, let us turn our gaze to the common American table. Here, the landscape changes dramatically. Instead of freshness, we often find convenience. The culture of speed and efficiency has given rise to an empire of fast food, prepackaged meals, and highly processed snacks. These items are scientifically engineered to be hyper-palatable, loaded with refined sugars, unhealthy saturated and trans fats, and an astonishing amount of sodium. While convenient in the short term, this diet wages a long, slow war on the body. Over time, it dramatically increases the risk of the very conditions that shorten American lives: heart disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, and a host of chronic inflammatory conditions. To truly understand this chasm, let's bring our two characters back to life. Marco, at 82, still lives in his small Neapolitan town. His day begins not with a sugary cereal, but with a piece of fruit and a small piece of whole grain bread. For lunch, he enjoys a hearty bowl of bean soup, a side of bitter greens drizzled with olive oil, and perhaps a small glass of local red wine. His dinner is modest: a small portion of pasta with a simple tomato and basil sauce, a piece of grilled fish, and more fresh vegetables. His body is continuously nourished with antioxidants that fight cellular damage, fiber that supports a healthy gut microbiome, and healthy fats that protect his heart and brain. The science on this is irrefutable. Diets high in processed foods create a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation throughout the body, a sort of silent internal fire that smolders for years, contributing to nearly every major age-related disease, from arthritis to Alzheimer's. Conversely, the Mediterranean diet actively quenches this fire. Its components work in synergy to keep blood vessels flexible, lower levels of harmful LDL cholesterol, stabilize blood sugar, and provide a constant stream of antioxidants that act like bodyguards for our brain cells. Here's a simple way to assess your own habits. Ask yourself, in the past week, how many of your main meals were centered around fresh vegetables, beans, or fish, versus something that came out of a box, a bag, or a drive-through window? If the ratio is heavily skewed towards the latter, consider that a gentle but firm warning sign. Making a change doesn't require a radical overnight overhaul. It can begin with a single powerful step. Aim to replace just one processed meal each day with something fresh. It could be as simple as a large salad with grilled chicken for lunch, a handful of walnuts instead of a bag of chips for a snack, or learning to make a simple tomato sauce with garlic and olive oil for your pasta. Even these small shifts begin to steer your health in a new direction, closer to the habits that allow people not just to live longer, but to live with vigor and clarity. This is the first secret. The foundation of a long life is built one plate at a time. If you find this insight on diet valuable and feel it's a foundation you can build upon, please let me know by commenting with the number 1 below. Your feedback helps us understand what resonates most with you. Beyond the plate, another profound reason for Italian longevity lies in something less tangible but arguably more powerful: the dense, interwoven fabric of their social lives. In Italy, community is not an abstract concept, it is a daily lived reality. The family is the undisputed nucleus of society, with multi-generational households being common. Grandparents are not sent to distant facilities, but are revered figures who often play a central role in raising grandchildren and managing the home. Family meals are not a special occasion, they are a daily, non-negotiable ritual. But the connections extend far beyond the family. In towns and villages, neighbors know each other by name. The local piazza, or town square, serves as a communal living room where people of all ages gather in the evenings to chat, laugh, and simply be together. Loneliness, the silent epidemic of the modern Western world, finds little room to take root in a culture so deeply committed to human connection. This stands in stark contrast to the American experience, particularly for older adults. The American ethos has long celebrated rugged individualism and self-reliance. While these are admirable qualities, they can curdle into social isolation in later life. Families are often geographically scattered, with children moving thousands of miles away for careers. Suburbs, designed for privacy and cars rather than spontaneous interaction, can become lonely islands. The result is that many American seniors find themselves living alone, their days marked by silence and a profound lack of meaningful daily companionship. This difference doesn't just impact emotional well-being, it is a matter of life and death. Let's imagine Maria, an 85-year-old matriarch in a Sicilian village. Every evening, her home is filled with the boisterous energy of her children and grandchildren. She is not a passive observer. She is at the center of it all, sharing stories, offering advice, and feeling the constant, reassuring warmth of being needed and loved. Her heart is literally strengthened by these emotional bonds, her mind kept sharp by the constant engagement. Now picture Thomas, a 79-year-old American widower living in a sprawling Florida suburb. His children, who he loves dearly, live in different states, and he sees them only a few times a year. Most evenings, he eats a solitary meal in front of the television, the canned laughter from a sitcom providing a hollow substitute for real human interaction. While Maria's spirit is nourished by a deep sense of belonging, Thomas's risk of depression, cognitive decline, and physical illness grows in the quiet emptiness of his home. A flood of medical research now confirms what we intuitively know. Humans are social creatures, and we wither in isolation. Loneliness has been shown to be as detrimental to one's health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day or being obese. It triggers a chronic stress response, raising levels of cortisol, which can lead to high blood pressure and a weakened immune system. Social isolation is also a major risk factor for dementia and cognitive decline. On the flip side, strong social ties have a powerful protective effect. They buffer us from stress, provide a sense of purpose, encourage healthy behaviors, and keep our minds active and engaged. A simple conversation, a shared laugh, a reassuring touch. These are not just pleasantries, they are potent forms of preventative medicine. Here's a moment for self-reflection. When was the last time you had a genuine, face-to-face conversation with someone who truly cares about you, where you felt seen and heard? If you have to search your memory for more than a day or two, it may be a signal that your social fabric needs some tending. What can be done? The solution doesn't have to be dramatic. It begins with small, consistent efforts. Pick up the phone and call an old friend instead of sending a text. Invite a neighbor over for a cup of coffee. Join a local club, a volunteer group, or a church community that aligns with your interests. If your family lives far away, make regular video calls a priority, allowing you to see their faces and feel more connected. Even these seemingly minor acts of reaching out can mend the frays in your social net, adding not just years to your life, but a profound sense of joy and brightness to those years. Have you ever felt that the structure of modern life makes it harder to maintain these vital connections? I'd be fascinated to read your perspective in the comments section below. Sharing your story could make someone else feel understood and less alone. One of the most subtle yet powerful secrets to Italian longevity is hidden in the very rhythm of their day, in their cultural relationship with time and stress. In many parts of Italy, especially in the smaller towns and the south, life moves at a distinctly slower, more deliberate pace. There is an unspoken understanding that life is meant to be savored, not just endured. The afternoon riposo, a period of rest after lunch when shops close and streets quiet down, is a testament to this philosophy. Meals are unhurried, often lasting for hours, filled with conversation rather than a rush to get to the next task. Work, while important, is not allowed to become the all-consuming center of one's identity. There is a clear line between labor and life. Contrast this with the prevailing culture in America, where busyness is often worn as a badge of honor. The national identity is deeply intertwined with the hustle culture, a relentless drive for productivity and achievement. Schedules are jam-packed from morning until night. Lunch is often a sad sandwich eaten quickly at a desk. Rest and relaxation are not seen as essential components of a healthy life, but as guilty pleasures or even signs of laziness. This constant low-grade hum of pressure and urgency, sustained over decades, exacts a heavy physiological toll. Chronic stress is a silent killer in American society, directly contributing to heart disease, high blood pressure, weakened immune function, and even memory loss. Let's revisit our parallel lives. Imagine Antonio, a 76-year-old retired shoemaker in a small Italian town. His day has a gentle, predictable rhythm. He starts with a walk to the local market to buy fresh produce, exchanging greetings with a dozen people along the way. He enjoys a long, relaxed lunch with his wife, followed by a short nap. In the late afternoon, you might find him sitting in the piazza, sipping an espresso, and engaging in lively conversation with his friends. His lifestyle is designed to minimize stress and allow his body and mind to recover and recharge each day. Now, consider Robert, a 74-year-old in the United States who, even in retirement, feels an internal pressure to stay productive. He works a part-time consulting job, eats his lunch while checking emails, and spends his evenings worrying about his investment portfolio and the state of the world. Robert's nervous system is perpetually in a state of low-level fight or flight. This constant strain keeps his body on high alert, silently wearing down his cardiovascular system and depleting his mental reserves. Antonio's calm rhythm protects his health, while Robert's constant stress accelerates his aging process. The science behind this is clear and compelling. When we experience stress, our bodies release hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. In short bursts, these are helpful for survival. But when stress is chronic, as it is for so many Americans, these hormones remain elevated for prolonged periods. This sustained exposure damages the lining of blood vessels, increases inflammation, disrupts sleep patterns, and impairs the function of the prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain responsible for memory and executive function. Conversely, practices that induce relaxation, like a slow meal, a nap, or simply sitting in nature, lower these harmful hormones, improve sleep quality, and help preserve cognitive function well into old age. Here is a poignant question to ask yourself. How often do you give yourself permission to do absolutely nothing without a flicker of guilt? If the answer is rarely or never, recognize that this mindset may be costing you far more than just a few moments of peace. It could be costing you years of healthy life. To infuse some of the Italian calm into your own life, you can start with simple, intentional acts. Commit to having at least one slow meal each day, where you put away your phone, sit at a table, and truly taste and enjoy your food. Build in micro breaks throughout your day, 5 minutes to step outside, take a few deep breaths, or listen to a piece of music without multitasking. And if your schedule allows, consider embracing the power of a short afternoon rest. Even just 15-20 minutes with your eyes closed can do wonders to reset your nervous system. The pace at which you live your life is a choice, and it can either shorten your existence through stress or lengthen it through intentional balance. By consciously slowing down, you not only have the potential to add years to your life, but to fill those years with a greater sense of peace and reward. This is such a critical point. If you agree and are ready to reclaim a bit of tranquility in your own life, please show your support by hitting that like button. It's a small click that tells us this message is resonating and is truly important. In Italy, physical activity is not something that is scheduled, tracked on an app, or performed in a special building. It is an organic, inseparable part of daily existence. For centuries, Italian life has been built on a human scale. Towns are dense, with homes, shops, and churches clustered together, making walking the most natural mode of transportation. People walk to the local market every morning to buy fresh bread and vegetables. They climb flights of stairs in ancient stone buildings that have no elevators. In the evenings, the entire community partakes in the passeggiata, a leisurely stroll through the main streets and squares, a ritual that combines light exercise with social connection. Movement is not a chore to be checked off a list, it is simply how life is lived. The American landscape, by contrast, was largely designed around the automobile. Neighborhoods are often vast and sprawling, with residential areas separated from commercial centers, making it impractical or even dangerous to walk for daily errands. As a result, many Americans spend a significant portion of their day sitting, in the car during their commute, at a desk for work, and on the couch in the evening. This pervasive sedentary lifestyle is a modern affliction that weakens muscles, slows metabolism, impairs circulation, and dramatically increases the risk of cardiovascular problems, all of which are major contributors to a shorter lifespan.
Let's envision Giovanni, an 80-year-old man living in Florence. His daily routine is his workout. Each morning, he walks 10 blocks to his favorite bakery, greeting neighbors along the way. He carries his groceries home by hand, a form of natural weight-bearing exercise. In the afternoon, he might tend to his small garden, bending and stretching. His body is in a state of constant, low-intensity motion. This regular activity keeps his joints lubricated, his bones strong, and his heart and lungs efficient. Now compare him to Carol, a 77-year-old woman in a typical American suburb. She drives her car, even for short distances, like going to the pharmacy a few blocks away. She relies on grocery delivery services and spends most of her day indoors, moving between her chair and the sofa. While Giovanni's lifestyle continually reinforces his strength and independence, Carol's inactivity quietly erodes hers, making her more susceptible to falls, muscle atrophy, and a general decline in physical resilience. A wealth of research underscores the critical importance of this kind of consistent, gentle movement. You don't need to run marathons or engage in high-intensity interval training to reap enormous benefits. Studies show that simply walking for 20 to 30 minutes a day can significantly reduce the risk of stroke, improve memory and cognitive function, and dramatically lower the chances of a debilitating fall in later life. The human body was magnificently designed for motion. When we honor that design, it rewards us with longevity and vitality. When we neglect it, it begins to break down. Here's a simple self-assessment. How much do you move in a typical day? If you're not sure, try using a simple pedometer or a step tracking feature on your phone for a few days. The results might surprise you. If your daily step count is consistently far below 5,000, it's a clear indication that you may need to consciously build more movement into your routine. The changes don't have to be drastic. Park your car at the far end of the parking lot when you go to the store. Always choose the stairs over the elevator when you have the option. Take a short, brisk walk around the block after dinner each evening. These small, practical shifts can cumulatively have a massive impact on your health, adding not only years to your life, but also energy and mobility to those years. I'm genuinely curious to hear your ideas. What's one small, creative way you could incorporate more natural movement into your daily life? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your idea might just be the inspiration someone else needs to get moving. Perhaps the most profound and striking difference, the one that underpins all the others, lies in how each culture perceives the very process of aging. In Italy, old age is not seen as a period of decline to be feared or denied, but as a respected and integral stage of life. Elders are traditionally viewed as sources of wisdom, experience, and living history. The term is saggezza. Grandparents, or nani, often form the emotional and practical core of the family. Their advice is sought on important decisions, their recipes are cherished, and their presence is considered a blessing. To age in this culture is to accumulate value, to become a treasured archive of family and community stories. This sense of purpose and respect provides a powerful psychological buffer against the challenges of growing older. In America, the cultural narrative is tragically different. The society is overwhelmingly youth-obsessed. Media, advertising, and entertainment constantly celebrate youth, beauty, and novelty, while often rendering older adults invisible or portraying them as frail, out of touch, or burdensome. This pervasive ageism can be incredibly damaging, leading many seniors to feel marginalized, undervalued, and irrelevant. This feeling of being unneeded is not just an emotional wound, it is a toxin that can seep into one's physical health, eroding the will to live a full and active life. Consider Lucia, an 84-year-old Italian grandmother. Her family doesn't just visit her out of duty, they actively seek her out. They ask for her guidance on everything from cooking to relationships. She feels a profound sense of purpose and pride in her role as the family matriarch, a living link to their shared past. This dignity and sense of belonging fuels her spirit and motivates her to stay engaged with life. Compare her story to that of John, an 80-year-old retired engineer in the United States. His children are busy with their own lives and careers, and while they love him, they rarely have time to sit and listen to his stories. He spends most of his days watching television, feeling that his knowledge and experience have become obsolete in a rapidly changing world. Lucia's sense of value strengthens her will to live, while John's loneliness and loss of purpose create a psychological vortex that can accelerate his decline. Groundbreaking research, most notably from Yale University professor Becca Levy, has demonstrated the incredible power of our mindset on aging. Her studies have shown that seniors who hold a positive self-perception of aging, who see it as a time of wisdom, growth, and fulfillment, live on average 7.5 years longer than those who hold negative stereotypes about getting older. This effect is independent of other factors, like gender, wealth, and even baseline health. Your attitude, it turns out, is not just a feeling. It is a biological reality, a potent elixir that can literally extend your life. Ask yourself this deeply personal question. Do you still see your life as holding meaning and purpose? Do you believe you have wisdom and experience worth sharing? If your answer feels uncertain, that is a critical area to nurture. You can take practical steps to reclaim your sense of value. Share your life stories with grandchildren or younger friends who are hungry for connection and perspective. Volunteer in your community, offering your skills and time to a cause you believe in. Take up a new hobby or even teach a skill you've mastered over a lifetime, whether it's gardening, woodworking, or baking. These actions are powerful reminders, both to yourself and to the world, that your presence matters deeply. By embracing aging as a gift of accumulated experience rather than a burden of decline, you strengthen both your spirit and your body. The Italians teach us a vital lesson. When a society respects and engages its elders, their lives not only grow longer, but they become immeasurably richer and more fulfilling. This topic of respecting our elders and finding purpose in aging is incredibly important to us. If you agree and want to be part of a community that explores these deeper issues, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. We have so much more to discuss, and you won't want to miss a single conversation. As we draw this journey to a close, the picture becomes remarkably clear. The reason so many Italians live well into their 90s and beyond, while many Americans do not, is not a matter of luck or a singular miracle cure.
It is the cumulative effect of 1,000 small choices, a culture built around a different set of priorities. It is a life philosophy woven from 5 essential threads: the fresh whole foods on their plate, the unbreakable bonds of family and community, the slower, more humane pace of their days, the natural movement integrated into their very environment, and a profound cultural respect for aging itself. Together, these factors create a powerful ecosystem that fosters longevity and vitality. For those of us living in America, the message is not one of despair, but of immense hope and empowerment. The good news is that these principles are not geographically exclusive. They are universal human truths that can be adopted and adapted no matter where you live. You hold the power to change the narrative of your own aging. You can choose to add one more fresh, home-cooked meal to your week. You can make a conscious effort to pick up the phone and connect with a loved one. You can build small moments of stillness and rest into your hectic schedule. You can park a little further away, take the stairs, and rediscover the simple joy of walking. And most importantly, you can begin to shift your own mindset, to see your age not as a liability, but as a crown of wisdom.
Take a moment now to reflect. Of these 5 pillars we've discussed, the diet, the social connections, the pace of life, the daily movement, and the attitude toward aging, which one resonates most strongly with you? Where do you see the greatest opportunity for a small positive change in your own life, starting today? Remember, the journey to a longer, healthier life is not a sprint. It is a marathon built of countless small, consistent steps. A walk after dinner, a call to a friend, choosing an apple over a cookie. These simple acts, repeated over time, compound into extraordinary results. Longevity, in its truest sense, isn't about the grim pursuit of counting more years. It's about filling the years we have with an abundance of health, energy, connection, and meaning. You have far more influence over the quality and quantity of your future than you may have ever realized. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. We would be truly honored to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share the one single thing you learned today that you plan to incorporate into your life. Your insights and stories are incredibly important to us. Reading your comments gives us the motivation and encouragement to continue this work. If you found this video valuable and it sparked a new perspective for you, we would be so grateful if you would like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Your support helps our community grow and allows us to continue creating meaningful content designed to inform and inspire. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.